All right, everybody, if you could please get to your seats. We're going to go ahead and get started here in a second. I'm going to go through roll call. All right. Senator Govea, Senator McCain, Senator Mattern, Senator Black, Senator Buchanan, Senator Scott, Senator McGinnis, Senator McQueary, Senator Barrett, Senator Rojas, Senator Khan,
Happy to be here.
Senator Vargas, Senator Shepard, Senator Holman, Senator Tran,
Present.
Senator Kirkby, Senator Manning, Senator Waller, Senator King, Senator McNamara, she's submitted an absence request, Senator Price, Senator Ocampo, Senator Gossett, Senator Kai,
Present.
Senator Senator Owel Baja, Senator Lazama, Senator Carnes, Senator Santee, Senator Reed, Senator Uden, Senator Minnick, Senator Okiki.
Here.
All right. We will go ahead and move right along then to the approval of minutes. Let me stop share here. Just minutes, yeah. All right. This is last week's minutes. You all have had at least a day to go over and review them. I'm just going to scroll through here just so y'all know that we're actually going over it. I entertain a motion to vote and approve last meeting's minutes. All in favor of approving said minutes, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? Seeing none, that passes and the minutes are approved. I'll go ahead and go back to the agenda. All right. Is there anybody here for open forum? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move right along to speaker's podium. This week we have Becky McKay, who is the executive director of the library we all know and love. She's here just to kind of give some general updates and to just answer any questions that y'all might have about the library. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Becky.
Super. I'm very delighted to be here. Thank you all for having me. I wanted to provide a brief update on the progress of the construction. I apologize for the delay. They had promised me that things would go better this go round than last summer, and things were supposed to have been finished before the fall semester started. But of course, things being what they are with the construction in Tyler, supply chain issues, etc., they are running far behind, and facilities, I believe, kind of tied a knot in their tail. And for the last few weeks, we've had significant progress. I don't know how many of you all have been over lately. They have finished laying the carpet upstairs in the third floor former stacks area. That area is going to be turned into more space like what is on the other side of that floor. Collaborative social study, which is, as you all know, the most popular spot in the library. There are times when you can't find a place to sit. I'm aware of the demand for that kind of space, and thus I pursued getting a substantial amount of UT system money. It's called PUFLER, to fix up that space. We carried so far 3 semi-truckloads worth of unused books out of here. They're going to the Internet Archive where they will be digitized and physically preserved. They also paid for that process, the shipping, the packaging, the digitization. So that is at no cost to UT Tyler. So the old unused books are gone. The print that we have retained is downstairs on the second floor. Next week, Monday, I believe, I have my first furniture vendor coming out to give me, to take a look, to measure, to give me ideas, to show pictures. I will be seeking student input, probably from some kind of a survey. It's my general sense that people like tables, big movable tables. I'm going to buy restaurant booth type seating. I think people enjoy those. That's good for, 3 or 6 people to pile in and study. There will be some soft furniture, but I think that should be minimized. It's not that great for studying. People want to study on the 3rd floor. I'd be interested to hear your all's thoughts on the type of stuff that you would like. I have $420,000 to spend. Library furniture is expensive because it needs to be heavy duty to stand up to use. I want to get that space furnished by, at the very latest, the end of next summer. I'll be getting the vendors here almost immediately, getting their proposals. They will have to order the furniture. I fear supply chain issues once again with stuff and parts coming from overseas. So it's my hope to get the place furnished by the end of next summer at the latest. The bathrooms, the second round of bathroom construction is almost finished. That's the restrooms on the 3rd and 4th floor. Last summer, we did the restrooms on the 1st and 2nd floor. The new study rooms there in the corner of the 3rd floor are almost finished. We got the whiteboards put up. Speaking of whiteboards, that reminds me, Senator McNamara came by yesterday from nursing, and we had a discussion about whiteboards. There will be ample moving whiteboards on that side of the 3rd floor. There will be a nursing mother's room added to the core of the building right there by the elevators. And what formerly used to be the big study rooms there are going to be smaller study rooms because the space was taken up for the nursing mother's room and the accessible restrooms stalls in the men's and women's room. In addition to that stuff, which is ongoing, they have just started $1 million replacement for all the library air handlers. That's not going to be visible to you, but the air handlers are from the beginning of this building, the late 70s or early 80s. And if we didn't have heating and air conditioning, people would definitely notice it. So that is going on right now. The only interruption might be a need to turn off climate control. And if it's freezing cold, they won't do it. They'll postpone. So I hope that there's very limited interruption from that. We're going to get new elevators. That should be starting anytime. They'll be doing the elevators one at a time. So we will always have access for up and down on the elevators. We're also going to put a new stair rail on the stairs. I don't know how many of you all have noticed, being young and fleet of foot generally. The stair rail is not at all functional. And to me, it's a safety issue. It's disturbed me since I walked in here in 2019. So we're getting a new and functional, not to mention attractive stair hand railing. It's going to be designed like the back stairs in the pharmacy building, which has it's a cable system. And you can, it has a handle that you can hold on to, unlike that big chrome handle that we have here. And as you turn the corner on the landing there'll be a handrail on the right-hand side for you to hold on to, most people being right-handed. So that's what we have going on here in the library construction-wise. I would welcome your input about desired types of furniture. I will send out a survey of some kind to the student body, and I welcome your input. Do you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Jorian raised his hand. Jorian, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Senator Khan from the Houston Engineering Center. I just wanted to thank you for visiting us today and also just give a big shout out to Miss Christine from the library who came to visit us this week, our engineering librarian. So I just wanted to say thank you guys again for sending her down here. It's always wonderful having visitors, and it's great to hear about the updates that are happening there on Main. And again, just thank you so much for coming to talk and sending people down to see us.
Well, I'm delighted. Christine loves serving you all. She loves making a road trip. You know, she's pretty extroverted as librarians go. So we are, as always, delighted to serve. That's our mission.
Absolutely. I sent some t-shirts back up with her. So hopefully those Houston Engineering t-shirts find their way to the library, I
I want one.
think. Well, go get one.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions? All right.
Hello. I was wondering if there's any way to have a count meter at the library. There's a lot of people, like people come, like how many people are using the library at a specific time. I've heard a lot of people don't want to go if they don't know how many people are there or anything like that.
Oh, there's a company that sells that.
I just didn't know if it was possible for y'all or not.
There's a company that sells that actually, where you can, I guess, get online and see what spaces are available at the library.
Yeah, like the occupancy.
Yes,
Something
there's a
like that,
company
yeah.
he's reached out to me, the guy who made that system. He had trouble finding a seat in the library wherever he went to undergrad, and so he developed a system where students could kind of see the action at the library and see if chairs were available. The thing about that is it costs money.
Yeah.
Guess what they have done to our money?
Taking it away.
Oh, we took a 3.75% cut this last go round. You know that 3% raise that all the staff on campus got to reach a minimum standard of $32,760. Do you know where that came from? That came out of my resources budget. And libraries have inflation every year. You know, what cost X last year cost X plus 5% this year. And we have a flat budget. So routinely things are cut, and we cut things based on what is being used, what is not being used, how much is it being used, what is the cost per use. I just cut something the other day to save $7,000 because I need a new authentication system so that we can differentiate you all from the Health Science Center students, because they have their own library over on the North Campus. So, you know, there's nothing I love more than buying y'all good stuff, but money is a real world constraint. And I'd have to see how much that thing costs. And, you know, there's an opportunity cost. If I buy that, there's something else that I can't buy. I'm hoping that the redoing the second half of the third floor will make, you know, oodles of desirable space for y'all.
Thank you.
We're essentially doubling, you know. Most people like to sit on the third floor. The fourth floor, I forgot to tell y'all this. The fourth floor is not heavily used at all. Usually I go up there and there's just a handful of people in that room, in that giant room. It used to be bound journal stacks, and we got rid of those right as soon as I got here. That's all available digitally through JLF, Joint Library Facility, that we participate with through UT System and A&M System. That's gonna, the accommodations, the testing accommodations, people are gonna move up there. The people who conduct testing for special needs people, with the understanding that their carrels for testing it's like their little study rooms. They have carrels with computers in them, and there's going to be several of them. I let them move in here to share our space, to partner with them with the understanding that when they were not testing, that space would be available to you all for quiet study. So all through the late afternoon and into the 2 o'clock in the morning when we close, that space will be available for quiet study. Because I know for some smaller percentage of the population, quiet study is essential.
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. We have a mic problem here, so I'm gonna hand this over to Senator Minnick. She had a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, to follow up on that question, I understand that it requires money to provide resources for your students. However, is there a way to push for the real allocation of funds? Assuming that the priority should be on the students, right? And things like this are causing an accessibility issue, right? And seeing the amount of money that UT Tyler is spending on other resources that may not be as beneficial to the student and their learning, is there a possibility that we could push for the reallocation of funds to put towards the library?
You all have plenty of stroke. I would love it if you would advocate for the library. I mean,
Right.
we took a cut when the reality is the resources go up in cost every year and our
Yeah.
money was reduced. So if
Yeah,
you
no,
don't have any stroke, go talk to Dr. Memoran and tell him you want the
Okay.
library to be better funded and not the library shouldn't be taking cuts. In fact, the library should be given an inflation allowance of 5 to 7 to 10% a year to keep up just at baseline, just to stay the same. We need a little bit more money every year.
So my recommendation as far as like student government's involvement in this is that at the end of the year, I've been thinking about maybe putting on an end of the year survey that students would fill out, hopefully. And I was thinking of just having a meeting where we vote on what's kind of subjects that we want to put in that survey, as far as what they might want to see, on campus. And then based off of that recommendation and those results, we can write a formal letter just recommending that these changes be made. Could be something that could potentially be put on that.
Did you all see the comments from the last exit survey for grad students and undergrad?
I don't believe so.
I just received them from the Office of Assessment, Luann Berman and Tanya. I sent them around to all my staff because I was so delighted. 80% of grad students are using the electronic resources. Most grad students are distant, of course. 96 or 97% of the undergrads whose major interest is space are approving of the space, 96 to 97%. And we got many, many glowing comments about specific staff members. It's unusual for people to be mentioned by name. Vandy Dubree, Howard Rockwell, Michael Skinner, Christine Forche were all mentioned by name for the superb service that they provide. I'm extremely blessed to have such, competent and service-oriented people. I was delighted. I shared the comments with all my staff. I was so pleased.
Hello, this is Robert Bennett, Vice President. We talked over the summer, I believe.
I remember.
Yes. So I know you talked a little bit about a couple places that are in other areas of campus moving to the library. If you can you give us a little bit of insight into what other departments or specialties will be moving into the library and where from?
That's the only thing I have right now. Is the SAR office. What does it stand for? Student accessible. What does SAR stand for? They do
Student accessibility and resources.
Yes, they're going to have. They're real cramped over there, and the future UT Tyler is going to grow, and they need more space. And I thought it was a good partnership for the library. I'm not interested in athletics coming over here. I'm not interested in social functions coming over here. I'm interested in partnering with other departments that do academic things, that provide academic support. So I thought it was a good partnership, so long as they would play nicely and not hog up that space and not let you all use it when it would be sitting there empty overnight. We're open till 2 a.m. So that's the only entity that's immediately coming over here. They are just starting to finalize the architectural drawings. They'll have to bid it out. I wouldn't think construction would even start until spring or summer next year at the earliest. That's the only people I'm aware that are coming in here. We also share the space with the tutoring people, the tutoring and advising people up on the 4th floor. That will stay the same as far as I know. And there's some marketing people, videography people, on the first floor, in addition to the Canvas support people and the print shop. So the only new people I'm aware of coming over are is the SAR office.
Okay, thank you.
What you were saying about that, because I might have a note. I just want to make sure we're talking.
I just got an email about whiteboards from Amelia.
Senator Amelia, and do you have a question?
Yes. So I sent that email just because I didn't want to have to explain what that was. And I also wasn't entirely sure because I'm also trying to email somebody else like the budget and everything for that. So I was just gonna ask you privately if you wanted to meet with that, but we can talk about it now if you want to. I was just gonna ask you about.
Well,
Sorry.
it's actually, students love the rolling whiteboards. I mean, they're in constant use. It's a way to learn. When you write out by hand, it's a learning tool. People love them. I plan to get a dozen more for the other side. There are, I don't know if you remember, there was a wall of glass whiteboards back in that far corner where we now have new study rooms. There are now 2 walls of glass whiteboards in those study rooms. And down on the other side, I think there's a pretty good sized wall of whiteboards. It pays to buy quality in the library because things are so heavily used. The glass whiteboards are superior because they don't stain. They don't develop a ghost of ink on the background. And that whiteboard paint stuff doesn't work very well. It will stain and be ugly and gross. So it pays to buy good equipment, and good equipment is expensive. Each one of those whiteboards, those rolling whiteboards, last time I bought them, they were $700. They are now $1,500 a piece.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so are there going to be on the other side of the library that's getting renovated? Are there going to be more of those glass whiteboards?
Heck yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect.
I
All right,
plan
thank
to
you
buy
so much.
probably another dozen of the things.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Like bean bags and couches, or
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. You were fading
okay,
out.
so earlier you were talking a little bit about soft seating. Does that
Mhm.
mean like getting bean bags and couches and like alternative study environments?
Couches for sure. Bean bags probably not so much. I don't think they would hold up very well. One of my dogs chewed up a neck pillow. You know what I'm talking about for the airplane, the neck pillow? It was full of tiny styrofoam beads. I'm still collecting them from my home. So imagine the library. Yeah, we'll buy some assortment of some soft furniture, kind of to be determined, but it's been my observation that the soft furniture is not as heavily used as, especially big tables. People love to pile in at a big table with a laptop and an iPad and all y'all's equipment with books and notepads and just kind of spread out. It's my opinion after 30 plus years in the library that the big tables are the most functional. But we'll have some booths and we'll have some of the little pods where people can sit individually. Library Interiors of Texas are the people I'm working with on Monday. I used to work at A&M, and those people did the second floor of the medical library at A&M, and it is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So I'm very impressed with their work. And I'll get another couple of vendor estimates and ideas too. And we'll pick and choose what we think is best and most attractive.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a psych major and I've done a lot of research on like neurodivergent students and the value of those alternative types of study spaces.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to
You faded out again.
be cutting out. Okay. Yeah,
There's a room upstairs on the 4th floor. There's a possibility that we could make that a neurodivergent room.
study space that would work for people.
You're cutting in and out.
that, but she was just saying thank you for coming to speak.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm delighted. I'm tickled that you all are interested.
Is the audio working now, Jorian? Like, is it clear now? Okay, perfect. Thank you. I think it was just because of how far back we have a bad mic system, and we really do actually need to maybe invest in some better mics. Senator project. So does anybody have any other questions? Okay. So there was a comment from Senator Buchanan. He was just suggesting that tables that have built-in outlets on them are really superior.
Yes, we will have lots of electricity. We may even have to put in some new electricity. This building was, I think, opened in like 1981, before computers were even really dreamed up. So the building is not as equipped with electricity as I would like, and there'll have to be some modifications because I know that you all need to plug in about every 2 feet.
Yes. One more question.
So I know you talked about what's currently going on with expanding in the 3rd floor, and then you're going to go in with the elevators and the stairs and such. Is there any further plans after that that you can speak to us about?
Yes. In the spring, there'll be another opportunity for me to apply for another round of PUF Lear money. It might be useful for you all to know this. PUF stands for Permanent University Fund. That's the money that comes out of the West Texas oil fields that's been designated for UT System, who gets 2/3 of the money, and A&M System, who gets 1/3 of the money. There's a subset of that money called LEAR, Library, Equipment, Rehabilitation and Repair. So that subset of PUF money can be used for specific things, including library. So I applied 2 years ago, I applied again 1 year ago, and I will apply again this coming spring. What remains to be done that I want to do is to replace the brick tile floors throughout the library, and also to get us some new entry doors. And that'll be about $150,000 that I will apply for in the spring.
Any other questions? All right. Well, seeing none, Becky, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us. I think we
My
all really
pleasure.
appreciate it. We all love the library, so this was very insightful for us all.
Yay. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all's interest, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye. They're all clapping. I don't know if you can hear it, but
I'll send a kiss.
okay. All right. Well, I will go ahead and go right back to the agenda. All right. So we'll go ahead and move right along to officer reports. So this past week, we've mainly just been finalizing things with the midnight breakfast, and I'll announce this again, but everybody that is here after the meeting is over, please stay. We're going to go over roles and everything for midnight breakfast. So, but I'll say that again, so that way it's just in y'all's heads. So that's what we've been working on. And other than that, I got to attend Staff Senate and introduce myself. Staff Senate is a great group, have a great president, and I intend to invite them, I think, to our November 3rd meeting. We'll have Staff Senate President Christina Chapman, and hopefully Faculty Senate President Dr. Harrison, or Deton Harrison Deton. And that is mostly what I've been working on this week. I'll go ahead and pass it off to Vice President Bennett.
So we're going over that later. Okay. So I've pretty much just been working with Landry, making sure that we get everything together for Midnight Breakfast coming in to get, we're kind of just getting the finishing touches on it. I already got the spaces reserved for the midterm election watch party. It'll not be there in the UC Theater. It will be there in ST 127. I think that'll be a better space for us. Yeah, I'm saving the rest for committee reports.
What I've been working on actually collides a lot with my committee reports. So Robert created a photo circle, which we're all going to join at the end of the meeting. So I was adding some photos to that, particularly the midnight breakfast posts that I've been making. I'm going to keep rounding those out since, it's next week. They're gonna come out a little bit more frequently. But like make posts and send them to me if you want to. And I was working on the minutes, and that's about it.
Hello, everyone.
I don't think this is
Nothing
working.
much as always. Though I am looking forward to looking into the future with everything money wise, especially now that I am officially staying at UP Tyler because I'm getting my master's in business administration. So one more semester of me being here, at least as treasurer. And then I can talk about SGAC when we get there.
This past week, I've been taking in the feedback that y'all gave last Thursday on the presentation, preparing for the discussion we'll be having in the future about the General Assembly time. Other than that, I've been getting ready for midnight breakfast just like everyone else. So
For those of you who have never experienced before, midnight breakfast is chaotic, fun, and all the above. That's right. Yeah, and all returning senators here can tell you that too. So, yeah. All right. Moving on to committee reports. Events committee is up first. Brandon.
You're gonna hear about it more later, but it's mostly just midnight breakfast that we discussed. Stuff like Stuff a Critter was ordered, decorations for it, and then Patriot Productions involvement with the movie night tying into it.
And then communications committee.
We didn't meet, but I basically sent out like kind of a brief text of what I said in my officer reports about the photo circle and about making posts.
All right, and SGAC.
So this week we actually only met with the National Society of Black Engineers for a reimbursement. They only spent $40. They haven't sent the receipt. So we are going to go ahead and do that just because we already proved it. But if they don't send the receipt, then we can't do anything about it.
All right, and rules committee. Makes you read. It might cut out back here, but I don't know.
We met this week and we kind of went over some of y'all's feedback and different ideas about the presentation that we gave last week. So we're looking at pulling some different statistics, just at a few different things that y'all were kind of concerned or interested in learning more about. So we're getting that from the different academic advisors that have that information. And then we're going to work on a presentation with all of that information to discuss at our meeting in a couple of weeks.
All right, and then environmental sustainability. You might need to come up here just because I think it cuts back there. Right there is like a limit.
We didn't meet this week because we're figuring out what time and day to meet. So it's gonna be a Tuesday at 4:15. So if you still want to join, either of us one, no.
All right, and then GSA not up and running yet. Still working on it. Working out the kinks. We'll go ahead and move right along to student voice reports. So we have, as you can tell, the student body. So first up is freshman student body at large senators. Anything to report? I'm getting my slides on today.
So there's nothing really big going on. I've been working with Senator McAdams for the issue at O Hall. Freshmen, they're complaining about the laundry room just being not the best right now. So we're working with that right now.
Anything else? Okay. And then we'll go ahead and move right along to sophomore student body at large. Anything to report?
The whole parking situation, like they're ticketing up towards building 1. Like there are people who have to park on the other side of like the basketball courts to get into their apartments over by building 1 and all that. And there's a lot of complaints about the RAs. I don't know. My RA really just like, instead of like knocking and doing like the RA thing, just scanned the thing, walked in, and I was like, hi. Yeah. It wasn't even during room inspections or anything. Yeah, we're here like with the vents. No, No, I was like sitting in my living room. I was just. Yeah, but they're still supposed to like announce that they're. Hey, how y'all doing? But yeah, that's like the only complaints. There's just nothing really going on in Liberty.
Anything else to report for sophomore student body at large? Good. Okay. Then junior student body at large. Anything to report? Come on down.
Can you hear me? Or is this like, okay. So a lot of people are nervous for the chemistry exams, and a lot of people or a lot of students in the nursing building, they would like to see more water fountains in the nursing building and the engineering building, and everyone for like breakfast. So
Anything else to report for junior student body at large? Okay. Seniors. My favorites. I'm kidding. Anything to report? Got something?
I think the only thing is seniors just getting any holds on advising appointments for registration on November 1st, I believe, is when it opens up for seniors. So I think all advisors were sending out emails this week to kind of let seniors and everybody really know that those holds on your accounts need to be taken care of so that we can register in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, it did. Graduate student body at large. Nothing to report. MD, anything to report?
Not right now.
Okay, awesome. Then we will go ahead and move along to new business, seeing that there's nothing for old business. I entertain a motion to discuss SGA service hours. All right, so we kind of discussed this a little bit in eBoard, but I guess I've already mentioned this a few times, but we will be, there is a way, and again, I'm not actually completely sure on how to, but there is a way to delineate between service hours that you have at general or for other student organizations and for student government. So what we will do is we're not clearly, like, we don't have a clear understanding of what we might already go ahead and count as service hours for student government. So I think what we will do is we are going, every time we have an event, especially if it's not mandatory, ask us beforehand if you were interested in receiving service hours, and we will be able to tell you as an e-board if it is going to count towards service hours or not. That goes for other events as well. I know that sounds super vague, but we honestly didn't have a lot of time to just sit down and nail out every event that's going to happen and every service opportunity that's going to happen throughout the year, because they all haven't been planned yet exactly. So that's the reason being. But I just wanted to see if y'all had any questions about that. And I also wanted to open it up for potential discussion on what you might want the prize to be. Because we would, if we're going to use SGA funds, we would have to vote on on how much, if we have the money, and what the prize is going to be. No, they are not required for this work. Store gift card. I don't think we want to do a gift card. I think we want to avoid gift cards at all costs. Apparently. So this is what I have a suggestion just so I can give you an idea of what I've been thinking. But there's a JBL speaker that is a little clip. It's only like $70. I got it at Walmart myself that I have, and I love it. So that's the kind of like gift that I have on my mind. Josh is giving me some grins, so maybe that's not okay, but we'll see. Yes, Brennan. A trophy. Yeah, we could look into getting a trophy. Yeah, definitely. Ribbons, stickers. This also applies for distance campuses, I might add too. This applies to everybody. So a gas car. Yeah, it's good for one fill up. No, absolutely not. I'm not going to repeat that one either. Okay. as an e-board, if y'all don't have any other suggestions as an e-board at our next meeting, we'll decide what the prize or trophy might be, and we'll present that to you. But just wanted to try and maybe incentivize service hours because it's important. But we'll also have various service opportunities, and I know that other organizations will have various service opportunities throughout the year. Just make sure if you are going to do those that you tell us beforehand that you are representing SGA in that. You cannot have multiple hats on at that time. So it will be for SGA that you are representing them at that service opportunity or at that event. Because that is the caveat, because I know a ton of you are in a bunch of other organizations. So that is the caveat to that. All right. Yes, Justin. Custom SGA sweater. That would be cool. I'd be very open to that. All right. Y'all are more than welcome to text me and email me with any kind of ideas that y'all might have. But all right, seeing no other suggestions, I want to go ahead and move right along to the next item on our new business agenda. I entertain a motion to nominate new senators. Do I have to do that way, or no, I don't have to do that way? Okay. Well, I reached out to a few individuals, and they both happen to be from UPines. But I wanted to give them an opportunity to just come before y'all and introduce themselves. And if y'all have any questions that are professional questions, not like what is your favorite food, then y'all are more than welcome to ask. And I want to go ahead and start with Emma, if that's okay. Yeah, just come down here and we'll just introduce yourself, where you're from, anything you think is relevant for people to know about you.
My name is Emma Harlan. I'm a freshman and I'm at UPines. And I'm from Plano, Texas. I don't know what else to say. Oh, my major is environmental science. So I will be joining the environmental sustainability committee. Yes. Well, honestly, my friend is a senator here, and that's what got me interested in it. Aisha Price, she's not here. But any other questions? Yes. Oh, if I could change one thing about UPines. Oh, a lot. I think I would have to ask a lot of people. I don't know. I think personally, maybe parking would be an issue, but I would also have to ask people because there's a lot. For me? Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm pretty confused at the moment and hopefully I find more of a direction, but something environmental related. I don't know. Yeah. Yes. I'm not. No. Yeah. But
Robert, would you mind escorting Emma out while the Senate votes? Shut the door. Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything that they would like to say at all? Or would y'all like to go ahead and vote?
I just want to say, sorry, I think she's interested to join this SGA, so it will be good to have her with us.
Yeah, awesome. I agree. All right, I entertain a motion to vote and confirm Emma Harlan to the University Pines Senate seat. All in favor of confirming, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? Seeing none. Soren, could you go get Robert? Well, before we swear you in, we're going to have one more senator nomination. Also representing U Pines. I know we're getting U Pine seats filled just left and right now. But this is Kelsey. She's also, again, representing potentially U Pines. And I just wanted to provide the Senate an opportunity to get to know you a little bit. So.
Hey guys, my name is Kelsey Niet. I'm a freshman political science major and I live in U Pines. Do y'all have any questions for me? Yes. So what got me interested in SGA? Nothing specifically here. I did a program called Youth in Government when I was in high school, and so this has kind of always been right up my alley. And I don't know, I guess I really just want to help people and figure out what they want to make different. Yes. I am from Garland, but if you don't know where that is, Dallas. Yes. Something I would like to make different, particularly about U Pines, is safety and security. We do not have gates that close. And that's kind of concerning. So if we can do anything to fix that or to make safety a priority, I would love to get started on that. Yes. I'd probably have to say events, but communications is also something interesting. Graphic design is something that I'm good at and I would like to help in any way I can. Any other questions? No? All right.
Robert, would you mind escorting Kelsey out and we will begin to vote. All right, does anybody have anything to say about Kelsey representing U Pines? All right. Yes, I know. Yeah. All right. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to vote to confirm Kelsey Niet to the U Pines senator position. All in favor of confirming Kelsey, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs down emoji. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none. Soren, could you go get them in? Not back in yet. Zoom can virtually clap. All right. Well, if the two new senators wouldn't mind coming down here and I will swear each of y'all in at the same time because I'm efficient like that. All right, I'm going to share screen. All right, so this is our Constitution, or part of it. Let me, hold on, make this. I know this seems awkward, but it's, promise you, everybody goes through it. So here's the oath. So if you wouldn't mind raising your right hand and repeating after me, where it says insert name, you will insert your name. Where it says insert position, you will say UPine Senator or just Senator for University Pines. Is that good? Cool. All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I insert name. Do solemnly swear that I shall faithfully represent the interests of the student body of the University of Texas at Tyler. I shall dutifully uphold and preserve the Constitution and bylaws of the Student Government Association while ardently executing the office of for the student body at the University of Texas at Tyler. All right, congratulations. Y'all are now voting members, by the way. So if we voted on anything else, y'all are more than welcome. Y'all are required to vote. So, yeah. All right, so I will go ahead and go straight back to the agenda. All right, so does anybody have anything else for new business? All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and move on to advisor comments. Big thumbs up. All right, that's it? Okay, cool. All right. It was a thumbs up on Zoom, just for y'all. I didn't see that. All right. So, few announcements. First one, not a fun announcement, but it's an announcement. So we have an article in the Constitution. It's Article 8. I encourage you to go read it, but that is the article that lays out some of our attendance expectations for student government. So if you have not known, you are required to send an absence request at least 48 hours in advance of a meeting. So please do that. We've been kind of lazy, I guess, the e-board has on enforcing that. So that's completely our fault too. Nobody's fault except ours. So we just kind of want to say that we're going to be strictly enforcing this from now on, just so that way nobody's blindsided, because that would be completely unfair to y'all. So we wanted to provide y'all this opportunity just to tell you. In addition, we do want to add something for if you are on main campus, or if you are going to be absent, that there's an option for you to attend via Zoom on that form. So if you were going to be out of town or somewhere else, then we'll have that option for you to attend via Zoom. You'll have to tell us that. In addition to that, I'm trying to make sure I'm remembering everything. I'm obviously not remembering everything. Just know that we will be, and I encourage you all, by the way, to go and read Article 8, just so that y'all know what the process is and everything. We want to, be following. It's some people don't really like go and read it, but I encourage you. People have put a lot of time and effort into that document, so I encourage you to read the full thing, but especially read Article 8, just so y'all know about that attendance standard. Can't think of anything else, so I will go ahead and move along to the next announcement. Let me go ahead and share screen, or share this screen. I don't see it on here. I'll show all windows. Oh, there it is. All right. This is a QR code. This is for Photo Circle. And what Photo Circle is, which y'all probably already know, I just found out about it today, but basically it's if you post a photo, or if you take a photo of something and you're at like an SGA event, or SGA sponsoring an event, or they have a table at an event, we want to have those pictures so that we can post it on our social media so that everybody knows how cool we are, and that we are doing our part in advocating for everybody and being present at all university events. So scan that QR code. I think it works. I don't know. If it doesn't, I will be sending out the link for it in the group me after probably tomorrow. That sound good? Okay. Yeah, Robert, go ahead and put it in the group me right now. All right. Yes. Yes, I know. All right, and then let me get back to the agenda. I have to stop and share screen a lot. Also, again, it's not on there, but I'm going to say it every week until it's done. Student Regent, Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board applications, please apply. It is very important that we have applicants for this because it is a very huge deal. And student government plays a vital role in helping choose who that's going to be. So please, please, please apply. Other announcement, by the way, that's not on there. If you were interested in being on the advising ad hoc committee, Ashley Bill is right behind you. So she's going to be here after the meeting. And those of you that were have already mentioned that y'all are going to be on the advising ad hoc committee, she just wanted to meet with you. Probably not super long, but just to kind of go over what things are going to look like moving forward. And so also, if you did not reach out to her, if you expressed interest but did not reach out to her, she's right there. So she's happy to help. And then also, all right, Senator of the Week. I have one. Senator Buchanan. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Senator Buchanan was nominated for being not only a great advocate, but also being very active in other student orgs and being just an overall go-getter. So we thank you for everything that you do. Congratulations. And keep submitting applicants. Keep nominating other senators, please. I love doing this. All right. And then, okay. There we go. Also, again, this is me saying it again. If you are here, stay here. Zoom attendees, you do not have to, but if you are on main campus and you are on Zoom currently, please reach out to me. I will reach out to you. But we will talk about midnight breakfast expectations and where you need to be and what time you need to arrive and so on and so forth. And then also, if you don't have a student government shirt, there's some right here. This is the last of them. So yeah. So if you did not get a shirt already, please let me know because you need to, this is what you'll be required to wear at midnight breakfast. Okay. And then also Chloe wanted to, actually, yeah, never mind. We won't do that now. All right. I'm ready to adjourn this meeting when y'all are. Does somebody want to do the honors? Hold on, all right, it has been motioned and seconded. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. I see you, Maggie. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none, the meeting is concluded. All right, Zoom, thank y'all for attending. I'm gonna end the meeting here.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Jorian. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Perpetual. Bye, Peace. Bye, Maggie. Bye, MD. Bye, everybody.